former Fox News contributor and Trump lackey by the name of John Solomon claims to have some bombshell story about how Joe Biden was the one who was involved in rejecting Trump's claims of executive privilege in regard to the investigation with the classified documents that he took home from the White House. Now, Solomon writes this in his piece, and it's after Trump had leaked a letter from the National Archives to his lawyers to Solomon. Solomon writes, the Biden White House worked directly with the Justice Department and National Archives to instigate the criminal probe into alleged mishandling of documents, allowing the FBI to review evidence retrieved from Mar-a-Lago this spring and eliminating the 45th president's claim to executive privilege. Now, again, Trump handed over this letter that a woman by the name of Deborah Wall, who's with the National Archives, had sent to his attorneys. And in that letter, it says this, and this is what Solomon had reported on. President Biden defers to my determination in consultation with the Assistant Attorney General for the Office of Legal Counsel regarding whether or not I should uphold the former president's purported protective assertion of executive privilege. I have therefore decided not to honor the former president's protective claim of privilege. And the leaked letter, by the way, actually makes Trump look terrible, and we'll get to that in just a moment. But before I do, there have been other cases involving the January 6th investigation, where Biden, through his White House press secretaries, has made it abundantly clear that he's not buying this whole executive privilege argument. Let's take a quick look at the two examples this year alone.
The president has already concluded that it would not be appropriate to assert executive privilege.
Obviously, the president has spoken to the fact that January 6th was one of the darkest days in our country's history, and that we must have a full accounting of what happened to ensure that it never occurs again. And he's been quite clear that they posed a unique threat to our democracy, and that the constitutional protections of executive privilege should not be used to shield from Congress or the public information about an attack on the Constitution itself. And so as a result, the White House has decided not to assert executive privilege.
Ooh, what a bombshell, what a bombshell. I mean, come on. By the way, apologies, that first example with Jen Psaki was from September of 2021, but nonetheless, the example is there. Cenk.
Okay, so there's two things about what they thought they were trying to prove. They thought, oh, okay, I got a letter that says Biden was involved in the decision. But as we just showed you there, first of all, Biden had already said that he doesn't have executive privilege many times publicly. So there's no news there at all. Second of all, in the letter, Biden says that he's delegating his authority. He's not the one making the decision. All you have to do is read the letter. And to me, the fact that they released this and said it was Biden when the letter itself says it was not Biden shows you two things about their assumptions. One, they think their voters are never gonna figure it out. They can't even read English, right? Like it's right there in the news story that the right-wing guy broke. It says Biden is delegating his authority. Number two is they know that right-wing media is completely compliant and will lie for them about everything. Because if they were genuine media, they would look at it and go, hey, I like a lot of right wingers. I like DeSantis, I like Cruz, whatever it is. But here, the letter says that Biden delegated his authority. But they think nobody in right wing media is gonna say that. They're all gonna lie for us. And we're gonna get to trick 40% of the country into thinking that Biden ordered it.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. What they're hoping is that their readers are simply gonna read the headline and then they won't read into it any further. But it's not like Biden is afraid to get involved and specifically state that he doesn't believe that Trump is protected under executive privilege. Again, it's been on the record. And so this so-called gotcha, this scoop that Solomon is so excited about is ridiculous. However, in typical Trump fashion, he ended up really hurting his cause because through that letter, we learned that the first round of retrieving documents from Trump in January of this year yielded 700 pages of classified documents. That was also indicated in the letter. And we also learned about how long this whole negotiation process has been going on and how Trump has been refusing to comply. and has been refusing to tell the truth about the documents he had in his possession in the first place.
Yeah, so the letter is worse than just not true, at least the way that they're framing it, right? It hurts Trump big time because it explains the depth of the classified documents that he was keeping, both in terms of the gigantic number of documents and pages, but also in terms of how classified they were. The ones that are SCIF, meaning you cannot take it out of a certain room, are above top secret and classified. So it's absolutely unjustifiable for anyone, including a former president, to have those outside of the specifically designated top secret rooms that the government has. So, but again, right wing thinks rule of law is for suckers and for the left and for minorities. It's not for privileged right wing men. We just get to break the law anytime we like. They genuinely believe that. This is obviously breaking the law. Obviously, with our most classified secrets. If a Democrat had done it, the right wing would be apoplectic. They would lose their minds. Imagine if Hunter Biden had done this, or Joe Biden had done this, or Hillary Clinton had done this. I mean, they're still talking about our goddamn emails that were like cooking recipes and stuff. So those emails had no national security secrets like this, nothing close to it. And they thought she should be arrested and locked up for it. This is 1,000 times worse. And they're like, let him go, let him go. He's perfectly innocent. And again, Anna, several rounds here where they're like, God damn it, will you give all the classified intelligence back? Hey, schmuck, we know you have it. And he's like, yeah, I gave it all back. I gave it all back. And he keeps the most classified without giving it back to the FBI because he's a goddamn criminal.
And just real quick, responding to what you're saying about the Hillary Clinton email server issue, we were super fair in that story because we were supportive of the investigation. We didn't want to just simply protect her because she's a Democrat, and that's the right thing to do. I mean, Republicans purport to put country before their own narcissistic needs or their ego, but whenever they have an opportunity to prove that, it appears that they'll provide cover for any wrongdoer within their party.
Yeah, look, we were fair in both directions there. One, we said, yeah, of course, investigate it. We don't want to protect the elites. We're not weirdo right wingers who are beta males who are just like, hey, if there's an authority figure, I just give in instantly. No, we're like, no, I don't care that she's soon probably gonna be the leader of the Democratic Party. Investigate her goddamn emails. And then once we found out what was largely in it, even though we wanted her to lose in a primary really, really badly to Bernie Sanders, we're like, well, it turns out, God damn it, it's not that big a deal. So sad day, let's move on. But that's called being fair, which the right wing would never know if it slapped it across the face. Hey, schmucks, your leader is a lifelong criminal. It's super obvious to the rest of us. Snap out of it already.